Hello guys, it's Kim and today we're going to go through another comic book pull list for this week. So these comics are from Wednesday the 21st of June. So let's jump straight into it. The first issue I have today is Superman 25. This was the ending of the arc that was Manchester Black and the whole Black Dawn. This may not have been the best villain or the best arc of this series so far, but I still did actually really enjoy it. And I think now, because it's wrapped up the whole Hamilton County, we'll finally get to go to Metropolis and see that across all Superman titles. Speaking of Superman, the next issue I have is Super Sons issue number 5. So again, this concludes the whole Kent family moving to Metropolis. Thank God, I was getting so bored in Hamilton. This issue didn't actually have a villain in it. It had a hell of a lot of fighting, more along the internal struggle between John and Damian and their fathers, and they're always rage quitting at each other because their personalities clash. But I think now that they've had a talking to from their fathers, I'm hoping that they'll be able to work together as a team a little bit more, because I really do love the dynamic of both of them together. So again, this was a pretty cute issue, but nothing overly dramatic happened. The next issue I have is The Wild Storm issue number 5. So I have tried so hard with this series. I am enjoying it. I'm just finding now there's just too many characters, too many things going on, too much information, and I've tried so hard for 5 issues. The art is amazing, but I just can't with the story anymore. There's just too many people. I feel like if I only know 2 characters' names in the book, then it's just not doing well in introducing its characters. So I think now I'm actually going to drop this series. I feel really sad for doing it because I really did want to find out what this series entails, but it may be something that I pick up in trade if I hear that it gets a little better. Next on my list, I had the conclusion of Odyssey of the Amazons. This is issue number 6. The first issue was bad. The second issue was very good, and then it just got really bad again. So now that this is concluded, there isn't really a point to this series. Yes, we see the Amazons and stuff, but the only connection it really has is that, you know, they're telling us that one day there is someone who's destined that, you know, is Wonder Woman. So we're not really learning a lot more in this series, and for me it was just a whole blurtation of just gods and just old age stuff, and I just got very, very bored with it very soon. There was way too many characters. To this moment, I have no idea who any of them are called. Like, I have no clue. I can't remember their names. There was just too many people, and I didn't actually have any sympathy for any of the characters that died in this series because I didn't know them well enough to have that emotional response. So surprisingly, I did collect all the issues and write it out to the end. I think because it was only a 6-issue series, so that's why I did it. I actually probably wouldn't recommend to pick this one up in trade. I would probably suggest to get maybe the first 3 issues and see how you feel about the series. If you do like it, then you may be able to trade them in and get a trade. But for me, I feel very unfulfilled and very disappointed with this series. There was one annoying section at the end of this book. It's not really a spoiler. This was all tied in connection to the Norse gods because that's where they were, where the Amazons got stuck and they were trying to get home. So there was this one section where the leader of the Amazons has this, you know, massive magical sword, and it obviously belongs to the Norse gods. So Thor just appears, and he's just like, yeah, I'm gonna need that sword back. And she's like, you're not taking it. And he's like, you dare challenge me to, you know, not give back this sword? And she's like, yeah. And he's just like, you know what? You can take it, never mind. Like, way to like downgrade Thor. I just thought that was so stupid, the way that they did that. Like, what even was the point of Thor being there? I just feel like, don't even have him in the book if it's going to be a conversation as stupid as this. Next issue I have is Cave Carson issue number 9. So this one I was sent by DC Comics, thank you so much, because I do the reviews on the DC Fans channel for Shade the Changing Girl, and they do send all of the DC Young Animals stuff to me as well, which is awesome, so I can keep up to date. Speaking of up to date, I haven't actually read any of the Cave Carson books, so I need to get on that, but every cover I receive is just amazing. The art is so psychedelic looking, so I am pretty keen to get into this one when I have time. Next issue I have is a Marvel issue. Oh my god. So I picked up Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man issue number 1. So when I went to Free Comic Book Day and got my Secret Empire issue, there was a preview of Spider-Man in that one, and to be honest, between Secret Empire and Spider-Man, I was much more interested in the Spider-Man issue than I was for the Secret Empire event. So this was actually $9.50. $9.50. I could buy a very cheap trade for this. So I feel this really has to fulfill my expectations of Spider-Man. This better be a damn good issue. I have not read this yet. I want to be picking up a regular Spider-Man series, so this is the one I'm going with. I hope that I made the right decision. Next issue I got is The Courier, issue number 2. I just read the first issue because I picked this up like 2 months ago, the first issue. And it was fantastic. Like, it was so good. And by then, of course, I was so far behind, I really wanted to read issue number 2. And I saw that issue number 3 was coming out this week, and I mean, I love the first issue so much, so I decided I would pick up issue number 2, which is this one here. And I also got issue number 3 because I am pretty confident that I'm going to like this series. It's actually written by the same person that does Spirit Hunters, which is one I've been talking about for a little while, from Xenoscope. So I think it's pretty clear that I like the writing style, I like the art. I highly suggest trying the first issue of this because I really enjoyed it. It's set in like a dystopian world about this courier, so I would recommend the first issue. Next one we have is Charmed, issue number 4. I'm really sad that I can only get one cover of the Charmed issue. Like, my comic book store unfortunately doesn't give me any other options for any other covers for the Charmed books. And I know you can get different covers, but the only ones I get are just the pictures of the actual actors, and I would really like an art book version of the Charmed comic book, because that's what it is, it's a comic book. So I do wish I could get a different cover, but unfortunately this is all that I have to work with and what's released at my comic book store. So, but covers aside, this is a good series. It really keeps my Charmed heart happy. I think it's kind of around maybe the 5th or 6th season, and these stories do kind of feel like episodes of Charmed, so they are actually really fun. So the last issue for the week I have is Plastic, issue number 3. This is such a weird and wonderful comic and story. I don't know what it is about it. It's just weirdly addicting. Like, you just want to know what happens. So basically what this series is about is a serial killer who owns this plastic sex doll, and he does, you know what, with it. But he treats this doll like an actual person, and it's now been revealed in this issue that this doll keeps him from having urges in killing people. But in the first issue, these gangsters steal his doll, and he is going all out to try get her back. So it's quite gore heavy, which I'm not sometimes a big fan of. But when it comes to things like this, I quite like it because it's a fun kind of gore. So I do highly recommend picking up the first issue if you're into kind of like sick humor, because that's what I feel like it's going for. So those were all my comic book pickups for this week. Let me know what you guys picked up in the comments below. If you want to follow me on any social media, I have Twitter, Instagram, Goodreads, all in the description below. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And as always guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon. Goodbye.